Good morning, Kelly, Madeline, Henry, and Samuel. It is Monday, June 4th, 2018, and this morning we're looking at the book of James, James chapter 1 to be specific. There's a lot in this chapter. There's a lot of good application, good things that are able to be applied to our lives in this chapter. We see James talking about trials and how it's actually a blessing when a person perseveres under a trial, because they'll receive the crown of life. We see James speaking about the nature of temptation, and how it is not God that tempts us, but we're actually tempted when we're carried away and enticed by our own lusts. He talks about being quick to hear, slow to speak, and slow to anger, and how we are to be not only hearers of the word but doers of the word. What I want to talk to you about briefly this morning is what's found in verse 26. If anyone thinks himself to be religious and yet does not bridle his tongue but deceives his own heart, this man's religion is worthless. Bridling the tongue is something that I know that we all struggle with. Whether it's a sarcastic little quip towards your brother or your sister, whether it's as parents, us being sharp in our rebuke to the children, maybe correcting the children verbally in places and times and locations that might not be appropriate in front of the other children, or whatever the case might be, whether it's me with a sarcastic, snide remark to you, Kelly. There's so many ways that we fail to bridle our tongues. What we speak to one another is so important. You know, the Bible tells us we need to speak truth to one another. We need to speak love to one another and peace to one another. And how often do we find ourselves just speaking to one another in ways that dishonor God? Whether it's sarcastically, or children, whether it's back talk to your parents. The Bible says, let our yes be yes and our no be no. How often do we speak deceitfully to one another? How are you feeling today? Oh, I'm fine. When in reality, you've just lied because you're not fine. You've got something bothering you and you just don't want to talk about it. We need to really think about this verse today about bridling our tongue, because what's Jesus say? It's not what goes into a man, but what comes out of his heart. And oftentimes what comes out of our hearts comes out of our mouths as well. Okay, and what we say to others and how we say it. And so I know you children can be snarky to one another oftentimes, and not polite, and so I just want to encourage you today to really examine your hearts, examine your words and how you use your words, and let's think about what it means to bridle our tongue today. Think of a horse with a bit and a bridle and all the things that a person that rides a horse needs to be able to control that horse and make the horse go left or right or forward or stop. Okay, that's the idea of bridling our tongue. It requires us to really think about what we say before we say it, and also to have speech that is good and pure and gentle and respectful and honoring to God. We really need to be speaking the things that He has spoke from His Word. So just want you to know that I love you very much. And I pray that you have a blessed day. And I guess I will talk to you guys later. I love you all very much. Bye bye.